The following program has been brought to you in part by Sennheiser and the Airline Pilots Association.
On this episode, we'll tell you which Gulf airline was invited to join One World Alliance, the first carrier in North America to fly the 787, and how you can help pilots rally around kids with cancer. All of this and more here on the Flight Deck. Hello, I'm Sharon Vereb. Welcome to the Flight Deck. We're on location today at the Airline Pilots Association's 44th Board of Directors meeting in Hollywood, Florida. We'll bring you coverage of this special event later in the program, but first, the latest news. Pilots at American Eagle ratified a bankruptcy restructuring agreement this month. 75% of the Eagle pilots voted in favor of the agreement. Captain Tony Gutierrez, chairman of the pilot group, said emerging from bankruptcy with the majority of the contract in place is a major achievement. The newly ratified contract was submitted to the bankruptcy court for the Southern District of New York for final approval. Alaska Airlines recently placed an aircraft order for 50 new Boeing 737s. Valued at $5 billion, it's the largest aircraft order in Alaska history. Boeing's scheduled to deliver the aircraft between 2015 and 2022. Alaska previously announced an order of 25 737s. Two-thirds of the 75 new aircraft are expected to replace old jets. Earlier this month, One World invited Qatar Airways to join its alliance. Qatar will be the second One World member airline based in the Middle East alongside Royal Jordanian. In a statement, the airline CEO says alliances are playing an increasingly important role in the airline industry, and that will continue long into the future. United Airlines flew the first 787 Dreamliner flight last month. The airline is the first in North America to receive the 787 delivery. It's the first of 5 new Dreamliners that the company expects to receive this year. It has a total of 50 on order. United plans to operate its inaugural 787 commercial flight from Houston to Chicago on November 4th. Coming up next on this special edition of the Flight Deck, exclusive coverage from ALPA's 44th Board of Directors meeting.
From the first time I boarded a commercial plane as its pilot, I've embraced the responsibility I have to the safety of my passengers and crew. And I have the best flight gear, even the headset certified for commercial duty. It lets me concentrate on the task at hand, making this the safest flight my passengers will ever have.
The feature-packed HMEC 26 provides long-wearing comfort and more than 18 dB of noise reduction. Try the HMEC 26 on your next flight and hear the difference for yourself.
Nearly 600 pilots attended this year's Board of Directors meeting. ALPA correspondent Jesse Cornelius has the story.
ALPA's highest governing body tackled a host of tough issues at this year's Board of Directors meeting. A total of 22 resolutions were approved, which will help shape the association's future.
As we look to the horizon, I want you to focus on what could be, on how we can and should leave the industry for the next generation.
Pilots were divided into 8 committees to hash out agenda items that covered everything from collective bargaining to safety to government affairs. Subject matter experts from around the globe weighed in on the issues and helped pilots to make informed decisions. After much discussion, debate, and deliberation, committees crafted resolutions that were presented to the full board for a vote. One of the most debated issues was agenda item number 17. The resolution has 2 parts. The first part eliminates the dues exemption for pilot wage deferrals into 401k and Canadian RRSP plans beginning January 1st of 2014. The second part lowers the dues rate for active members to 1.90% beginning that same year. This will be the lowest dues rate ALPA pilots have paid since 1985. The board approved the resolution by a 78 to 22% vote. Pilot leaders also elected a new executive council. The board chose 9 executive vice presidents who will each serve a 2-year term beginning January 1st of next year.
Board members will now begin implementing decisions made this week and moving plans ahead for the next meeting in 2014. I'm Jesse Cornelius on the Flight Deck.
Washington's a battlefield. It's filled with interests, all of them having PACs as well as active lobbyists on the ground. Airline pilots need to have their own voice effectively raised in the halls of Congress, and that involves having a healthy PAC. That's the reason we need to have one.
It's extremely important for ALPA to have a PAC because everybody that we deal with also has a PAC. PACs are only bad when you don't have one and the other team has one. And in Washington, that's just the way business is done. It's important for us to be able to get in the door.
Now it's time to watch and win. First, congratulations, John Diedred. John will receive this ALPA laptop bag. Thank you for participating. Now for today's question. How many aircraft are currently on order at Alaska Airlines? Visit FlightDeck.alpa.org to submit the answer for your chance to win. We're wrapping up this flight deck with an incredibly touching story and an opportunity for you to get involved. The Delta Pilots Charitable Fund held a series of fundraisers at this year's Board of Directors meeting. The event raised money for the Rally Foundation, a nonprofit that helps fund treatments and cures for childhood cancer. Here's Chuck Albers with more on how they got involved.
Well, we originally started back in 1999. We had one of our pilots who had a very ill son in the hospital, and the hospital was able to save him. And in return, he said that he wanted to find a way to raise money to buy a pediatric critical care ambulance. And it just grew from there. So now it's a continual effort. We have a board of directors of 7. They're all volunteers. They don't get any reimbursement for anything. They just do it out of passion.
ALPA pilots raised money for Rally through the golf tournament, a silent auction, and by selling raffle tickets at the meeting. ALPA pilots and staff were quick to respond, pulling out their checkbooks to bring the fund one step closer to finding a cure. It's a cause that Delta pilot Larry Deist is passionate about. He sits on the Rally's board.
You know, you get touched by each of the kids' stories, even just as recently as a couple of months ago when we did a new video. I met Lucas and Ryder, and you know, each time you meet one of these kids and you see their strength and you see their smiles. I did a video with Ryder, and the next day I was running in her 5K with my youngest son because he wanted to get involved. So it's just, it's hard to see them struggling, but then you get strength from their strength, and it's a two-way street. I think it's supported both ways.
That's it for this special edition of the Flight Deck. If you have any feedback on this program, please let us know at FlightDeck@alpa.org. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next month here on the Flight Deck.